quality jobs in the design and construction phase. President rejects accusations of clearing appointees accused of corruption. Minerals Commission says Omniquery has no license. I am focused on recapturing Pandai seat for MPP Richard Nyama, says so. And the BNFT this morning reports that it comes with a photo of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, finance minister. With the team, it doesn't go anywhere. Ofori-Atta rallies African countries to achieve 40% carbon credit by 2030. Value of half-year investments low to $274.74 million US dollars. Local startup funding declines 86% in one as the winters bite harder. Cocoa price. One bag now, 1,308, the highest in West Africa. Okay.
All right, well, let me take you to the business analyst this morning. Law on conduct of public officers in the offing. President Akufo-Addo also pictured here, along with that story. Bank of Ghana to ease policy rate to 27.5% by end of 2023. Fitch Solutions reveals. I don't even know whether to say hello. It's still astronomically high. We're hovering around 32%.
Yep.
27.5 is a reduction, but still high. I don't clear appointees of corruption allegations, President Akufo-Addo asserts. EC chair joins heads of African election management bodies to develop social media guidelines. On the front page of the Daily Guide, IGP storms Parliament over leaked tape. For context, this is about the 7-member committee that has been set up, ad hoc committee by the Speaker of Parliament, to probe that leaked tape that's been circulating. Airbus government official one, Nana Jabs Mahama, and that speech he made that is making the rounds when he went and spent some time with the Ghana Bar Association was full of jabs. Airports bus government official one wasn't the only one. He called former President John Mahama an allegedly responsible politician. I thought that is quite weighty. In any case, a jab here, a jab there. We're used to it here. NLA launches afternoon draws.
We want to be governed, not to be receiving jabs.
It's true. We're in the middle of the blues.
Yeah,
we are hungry.
We don't want jabs.
It's like a bad tennis match. You look at it. It's back.
Governors, stop giving people jabs.
NLA launches afternoon draw. Signs Ghana Post Pact. Shamakwery not licensed. Very worrying developments there. Voters registration begins today, but does it? Does it really? Does the injunction hold? We'll also be getting into matters concerning the EC.
On the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, at the GBA conference, Fight Against Corruption on course, President assures there's also nearly 200,000 tons of cocoa smuggled out of Ghana. Climate Action Ofori-Atta outlines roadmap for Africa's sustainable development. EPA orders arrest of STA Adams enterprise owner over explosion. An IGP before parliamentary committee probe into leaked tape today. There's at the center spread of the Times, Agenda 111 to employ 20,000 healthcare professionals and others. That's coming from Dr. Insia Asari. You go to the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. EC begins limited voter registration today despite court injunction. There's also GTech freezes unaccredited academic programs. Public offers accountability. Onslaught on ill-gotten wealth. New bill to tackle corruption. President is saying there's IGP faces accusers in camera today. And political coloration of judiciary dangerous. Also coming from the president. You go to the center spread, there's Agenda 111 hospitals. Bastard District Hospital to be completed January next year.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. You have specifically mentioned corruption within the taxation system. What exactly will you do to stamp this out?
The measures are going to be difficult, but there have to be a variety of them. Including what I call the ANAS principle, setting up highly motivated professional groups of young people who will work, if you like, as it were, undercover to unearth examples of corruption wherever they can find it, and thereby allow the authority to deal with the issue Because not only do you unearth the corruption, but you actually deal with it in terms of sending people to court, prosecuting them. Hopefully, the courts will cooperate and make sure that the offenders are found guilty and sanctions appropriately enforced. So a variety of measures, but a key one is the ANAS principle, as well as, of course, what you do to securize those who are in the tax collecting agency.
That was President Akufo-Addo and the ANAS principle. Do you know where the principle is?
The principle.
The ANAS principle.
Maybe he has employed those tactics on our blind side. I don't know of. Yes.
Somebody said the purse is missing. The public purse that he said he will protect is missing.
Where is it?
We can't find it.
The purse itself is missing.
Yeah, but if the
purse is somebody's purse.
The purse is not missing, how is it that we owe school feeding children in campaign?
I mean, the president says he doesn't clear appointees of corruption allegation, and that he is the first person to, present such persons, politicians, MPs, appointees to the relevant bodies to deal with them.
Who has he put in jail? Because in opposition, while he was campaigning, off the top of their lungs, they screamed and said people are corrupt, people will go to jail. You heard that? Who has been jailed for corruption? Apart from the NCA, I think it's something at NCA, the Bafuboni, administration one, and yes. And then you're still in court with Opuni and Seidu Agongo.
That's right.
Who else? Woyome is still working free. I mean, but Woyome was a big campaign message. So,
that's right.
So who? I mean, it doesn't lie in the president's mouth to say, "Oh, as for me, I am the first to do A, B, C, and D," because the evidence around us points to a different Australian visa scandal. Pius Hajide, who went to jail because of that. This was an international diplomatic gaffe.
That's right.
Who was held for it? There's a whole plethora of them. So I don't know.
But I mean, in defense of the president, if you like, he refers these issues to the appropriate authorities to investigate. So if they investigate and they clear the persons who are accused,
well, some might say that it's even the president who goes ahead of that, because it's one thing to present a politician or appointee to the relevant body for sanctioning or investigation, but to then add a layer, for example, in the Cecilia Dapaah case, to go and say that I am confident that then you've already, before anything has happened, you've already decided that this appointee is blemish free, and that can't be.
For example, the Australian visa scandal, right? The president or the presidency tells us that the person has been cleared by the appropriate security agency.
Yeah.
Correct? Did you see the report?
No, I did not.
No.
And I've told Pius that, look, it is in your own interest to have that report, if it exists, published. Then it clears your name. Because each time you are on something about corruption comes and you are there, they paint you with that brush.
That's right.
And I've said it on TV before. I've told him, personally also, let the report be published if there's any at all. But hey.
I mean, the other matter is still pending. This gold mafia saga, and the president
is yet to release the response.
That's right.
That Al Jazeera says it has given to them, because they were threatening fire and brimstone, that will jail, will sue you, will, if you don't retract and apologize. Jazeera saying,
these reports, they will not make it public if you don't ask for it. So if you want to see the reports, use the Right to Information Act, use the bill, and then go and look for the report.
Before you rush too quickly, there are deficiencies. And if you joined us last Friday, you'd have seen the itemized list and institutions who don't adhere. They don't. Some of them don't even want to hear.
And most of them are state institutions.
Yes. So you go to the commission will take up your case, find the institutions, and if possible, get the information for you.
I think we are for that one. We have enough information.
Why? If you don't have the report, go and ask for the report.
The thing is that why must we beg for? Because this was the president in opposition. On the day that he was being sworn in, he also made the pledge to protect the public purse. right? All those things were said not under duress.
That's right.
He said them freely. Why must he now, with the benefit of power, be forced, if you will, for want of a better expression, to give us the reports? Why?
I mean, he lists a few things here, so maybe you are familiar with these. He says, from the allegations, the then Minister Designate for Energy, Boakye Jako, at his parliamentary confirmation hearing in 2017, he says to that against the former CEO of BOST, Honorable Alfred Obing, to those against the 2 deputy chiefs of staff at the office of the president, Honorable Francis Asenso Boakye, Honorable Samuel Abu-Jinapor, to the conflict of interest allegations against the Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, to the claims of extortion. Okay, these are actually allegations and things that have been put in the public domain.
He listed all of them one by one.
That have come before us. Yes, that have actually happened. You've got the claims of extortion against the Trade and Industry Minister Designate Alan Chemanteng at his parliamentary confirmation hearings in 2017, to allegations of doubling in visa racketeering against the then Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports, Pius Hajide, and the then Director General of the National Sports Authority, Honorable Robert Safo Mensah, who, though exonerated by the CID, later resigned. He talks about the chairperson of the National Sports Authority, many others. The allegations of bribery leveled against the secretary to the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Bissiou. He mentions all these instances.
Did he talk about ABA-AJ?
In fact, he does.
Public Procurement Authority.
He does. He says Public Procurement Authority.
Contract for sale.
Yes, he says to those involving the dismissed acting CEO of the Public Procurement Authority, PPA, ABAJ, and the dismissed CEO of the National Youth Authority. President Akufo-Addo stated that they have all been investigated and in most cases cleared by the authorized institutions of our states.
If all it takes is to misbehave in the manner that some of these persons have misbehaved, and the only thing is for you to lose your job, and that's all, there's no prosecution, then we will all go and serve and misbehave so that they tell us to go home. If that's all it takes, there's no reprimand of any sort. And you see, consistently, it builds a certain impression and image for the government.
Yeah.
And that's where the thing is coming. If you listen to Nana-Addo in opposition, and you listen to his tone now, you can't put the two together. You can't
Different
put it,
people,
yes,
different
you can't
human
put
beings.
it together. The Nana-Addo that we saw at the IEA, the Nana-Addo that we saw on the campaign platform, and the Nana-Addo now, you can't put the two characters together.
I think the same can be said for a lot of members of the ruling government. The position, the energy, the vigor that they had in opposition, you juxtapose that against what is going on today, and it's
not
very
sitting.
different. There are reasons and explanations for everything, but at the time that they were in opposition, they had all the answers. They knew exactly what it took to prevent crisis. It can bring the economy back. We can bring people back. Even that one was when the president was in power. But before that, a lot of the commentary was that they had all the answers, the men, the answers, the everything.
Helen, when you're in opposition, your job description is different.
What is the job description?
When you get by, your job description is different. You're in opposition, your job is to oppose.
It's to oppose. That's your own.
If you are in power, your job description is to defend.
Well, the president ends on that note by saying that there are some who refuse to accept my method of proceeding and have characterized me as a clearing agent because for them, the mere allegation without more is enough to merit condemnation of the public official. For my part, I will not set aside due process in the fight against corruption, no matter how much. This word that he opprobrium, this curse. Hey, president, take your time for us.
This is a lawyer.
Oh, goodness. I don't know what that word is, but that's what the president had to say about being tagged a clearing agent.
I mean, there's only so much the president can do, you understand? If they are referred to the authorities to investigate and they are cleared, what more do you want the president to do, Helen?
Oh, we just juxtapose it
just
against what they said.
what
You know,
he said
when he
in
was
the
in
past.
opposition.
Yes.
You're putting it in context.
Yes.
there.
ANAS
Absolutely.
principle. I mean, and
Absolutely.
if you're using the ANAS principle, we know how ANAS operates, right?
Yeah. And in fact, he said it himself. He said he's going to get teeming youth, passionate youth to do undercover work and bring back the intel.
When Abu-Jinapor and Asenso Boakye right? The allegation was made by no less a person than Mr. Kennedy Ohene Agyapong, who wants to be president, that they were collecting gate fee at the Jubilee House to allow for people to go and meet the president.
You remember cash for seats?
Yes. You remember that? You remember, I mean, what action did the president take? He gave them ministerial roles. He gave them cabinet ministerial roles. When Kennedy Agyapong himself said that he had been asked to go and give X amount of money to his baby mama Adwo Asafo, an MP for Dom Kwabinya. That one from the office of the chief of staff. Who cleared the chief of staff?
In fact, that one, was it ever responded to? Was there ever an official response
there was
to that?
no investigation to
Because
that. It remained an
Honorable
allegation.
Kennedy
So
Agyapong
what are you
actually
talking
has
about?
reiterated that position. I believe when he spoke with a colleague Roland Walker, confirmed that yes, monies were given.
Yes.
Nothing, no comments.
124,000. So what is the president talking about exactly? Does he know what he's talking about?
Charles Adubuahin, the former minister of state at the presidency in charge of finance.
Yes.
After the ANAS investigation, all that happened to him, he was not even sacked. He resigned.
That's right.
Yes. And
So
that's
like
it.
just Johnny is saying, if all the punishment there is to lose your job, you could always
Yeah,
look for
we'll
other
get in
jobs.
there, misbehave, and there's chicken about which time would have raked in something small to take care of us.
Your money already.
Yeah.
Well, the president says that he's not a clearing agent and he has his own way of proceeding.
So-
I think some of us who heard you wanting to employ the ANAS principle tactics wanted to see it live in action, in real life. But you've chosen a
can't-
different...
No, the
can-
president
you
is
can tell us.
investigating. LaBianca, for instance,
Tell us
the
more.
OSP investigated and then they find the woman. So he's doing something.
All right. Well, the IGP is going to face the 7-member committee ad hoc in camera.
Don't
So we
worry.
won't be getting any of the filler.
They can sit in camera. We to the secret videos we have. We'll play. I'll play some on Johnny's Bite today.
Pardon?
I played the second part of the video I played the other time. on
Oh,
Johnny's
there's
Bite.
part 2.
Yes. Oh, I have a couple of them.
Oh,
Yes. So they can sit in camera. We will do on camera here. They can choose to sit in camera. We will play that video. I played it this morning.
I'm devastated by that
Yes.
development. I thought we'd have a hybrid system because I am eager to hear what the IGP
the
has
ears
to
are
say.
itchy.
The thing is,
So
the
itchy.
thing is that it has 2 legs. If you're not too careful, people will. And I maintain that the police service has sunk in terms of its image with what's going on.
This concept.
Yes.
If you don't take care, you're not careful, you will further sink it and diminish it completely.
Yeah.
You know, so they have to manage it. But again, you can only win back some level of confidence if some of the things you can. So, for example, agree on the issues like the lawyers do. They have a pre-trial conference.
Right.
Agree on which issues you think are touchy and must be held in camera, and the issues that you think are generic and can be, because the 3 gentlemen who came before plus Bugui Nabu,
Yeah.
they've said things, right? They've said things that borders on. For example, what is a national security threat about Bugui Nabu and the contract? The IGP should be able to tell us whether or not there were 40,000, boots or books.
Whether he's on a 10,000 CD monthly salary.
monthly retainer, something. He should be able to tell us those ones. And I know they're for national security movement.
But the allegations have been made, I mean, in the view of everybody already. So respond to those
the
allegations and let everybody
let's see what
them.
we're doing. Anyway,
They said they were doing camera.
Lady and gentlemen.
We're here though.
thank you very much. I'll play the video.
What does winning mean to you? For Yao, it's seeing the joy in his mother's eyes after he provided her with a state-of-the-art kitchen to cook her signature